Crosses in the shadows. Christians under siege in Nigeria. In the dusty northern plains of Nigeria, where the call to prayer echoes from ancient mosques and village markets buzz with life, another sound has become chillingly familiar. Gunfire, screaming, and the crackle of flames. This is where thousands of Christians live under the daily threat of being killed for their faith, not in whispers or theories, but in brutal, unrelenting reality. The world often hears about Boko Haram, the Islamist terror group responsible for kidnapping over 270 schoolgirls from Chibok in 2014. But what goes largely unreported is the slow, grinding genocide taking place in Nigeria's central and northern states. A campaign of religious cleansing targeting Christians. One such state is Plateau, where entire Christian villages have been wiped out in the night by heavily armed Fulani militants. These aren't just random raids. Survivors describe calculated attacks. Men storming homes with military-grade weapons, lighting churches on fire, and executing villagers who refuse to renounce their faith. Esther's story. Esther, a 17-year-old survivor from Kaduna State, remembers the night her world turned to ash. "They came after midnight," she says, her voice barely a whisper. "We were sleeping. I heard shouting, then shooting. My father ran outside. They shot him in the chest." Her eyes lose focus as she continues. "They burned our church, the one I was baptized in. I don't even know how many people died. Too many." Esther fled barefoot into the bush, hiding for 3 days before reaching safety. Her family is gone. Her village no longer exists. Sadly, her story is not rare. According to Open Doors, Nigeria consistently ranks in the top 10 most dangerous countries to be a Christian. In 2023 alone, over 4,900 Christians were killed for their faith in Nigeria, more than in any other nation. And yet, the Nigerian government continues to treat many of these attacks as ethnic clashes or disputes over land. But for those in the villages, the message is clear: your faith makes you a target. The violence has become so frequent and severe that some analysts have started using the term Christian genocide. Churches are forced to hire armed guards. Pastors are abducted and tortured. Entire communities flee south, turning into internal refugees in their own country. But amid the horror, there is also hope. In burned-out churches, people still gather. They sing, they worship. Some do it in secret, others openly, even when they know it could cost them their lives. One pastor whose church was attacked 3 times said, "They can burn the building, but not the faith, not our joy." Christian aid groups have stepped in, smuggling food, rebuilding homes, and providing trauma counseling. But the scale of suffering is immense, and the silence from the global community is deafening. Why does this matter? Because it's not just about religion, it's about human dignity. Innocent men, women, and children are being slaughtered for believing in something that should be protected under any constitution, the right to worship freely. And while Nigeria holds strategic partnerships with Western nations and receives international aid, the crisis of Christian persecution remains largely ignored by mainstream media and global powers. Esther now lives in a camp with other survivors. She started going to school again. She wants to be a nurse, so I can help people, she says. Because one day someone helped me. Her voice is soft, but her faith is louder than any bomb, bullet, or blade. Let me know if you'd like this adapted into a video script, podcast segment, or a voiceover for a documentary clip.